Okay, so going to run through a quick MyFitnessPal guide. So MyFitnessPal is a calorie tracking app which really allows you to take ownership and really gives you that extra added accountability in terms of developing knowledge around food, how many calories you're consuming, what kind of calories are in types of food, portion sizes. It really does give you a real insight, and I would highly advise everybody uses MyFitnessPal at least for a period of time. Obviously, you might not want to be doing this forever, but using it for a period of a month or two will really stand you in good stead to really develop your knowledge in terms of portion sizes, calories and foods, and what foods contain. So when you open the app, you'll have this sort of dashboard. The first thing I want you to do is go to more down the bottom, then click goals, and then click calorie, carb, protein, and fat goals, and then change your calories to whatever I have set in your JVK fitness app for your calorie goals. So just say it was 2000, you can change that there. And then just make sure protein is set to 30%. That's what I will typically set it in the app. So just as long as protein's set at 30%, calories aligned with your goal in the app, don't worry about carbs and fats. These can be flexible. Really don't worry about these percentages or these grams. Then you would come back from there. The next thing I want you to do is if you click more again, and we're still in more, I want you to go to privacy center and sharing and privacy settings, then into diary sharing, and we want to make sure that is set to public. And that just means that I can see the meals that you're eating. So in the app, MyFitnessPal links to the JVK fitness app, and then I'll be able to see what foods that you're eating, so I can analyse and make judgment calls and decisions based on what you are eating. So just tick that and that's you. Perfect. Now you're set up and good to go. The next thing where you'll probably spend the majority of your time is within the diary. So if I just move along at the top to the next day, so you can see up the top, goal 2000 calories. I've not added any food yet, I've not added any exercise. You can add exercise, but I would just advise against it. So you can add exercise and it gives you like how many calories you think you've burned from your exercise, and then that gives you like how many calories remaining. But calories burned during exercise really is not an accurate measure, so I wouldn't be too concerned about that. I would just ignore the exercise, just concentrate on hitting your calorie target for food. And what you would do is you would literally just come in here and add food where it says add food based on what you're having. So for breakfast, let's just say add food. Let's just say, I don't know, just say you had an apple. You search for apple, it will come up and you would just add that. The wee green tick means that it is verified. So if you look at that, that's beneficial. So there you go. Apple's been added and you can see my calorie up the top has been added, 104 calories. I've got 1896 remaining. Once you've added an apple, now that will be in my history. So when I go to add foods again, it'll be sitting there and it'll be a lot quicker. Initially, the first couple of weeks when using MyFitnessPal can take a little longer when you're just inputting foods for the first time. But after that, it'll be really, really quick because you can literally just add foods or copy from previous days, and it will literally take you 1 to 2 minutes a day to put in your full day's worth. So it really isn't a huge time constraint, and it's massive results that you will get from it. Another thing you can do is with regards to adding food is you can, instead of searching for a food at the top, you can actually scan a barcode. So if we go for, I've got a wee packet here, so I have got some cheese here. If I go to scan a barcode, you can see I can then just sort of put that onto the barcode and up pops cheese. You can see, just make sure that it is the right food that pops up. Once you can see here cheese, I can then change. So it's set the serving size of 30 grams and your number of servings 1, but you can change that. So you could change that to 1 gram and just say you had 50 grams, and then you would just click the tick and there we go, there's cheese added. So scanning foods are really useful as well. And just that's how you would just change the serving size as and when. So in terms of adding foods, that's probably the easiest ways to do it. But what you can also do is, as you progress in MyFitnessPal, as more meals get stored in your database, you can then start copying from previous days. So for instance, if I go to lunch and click these 3 dots, I can click copy from date. And let's just say I have the same lunch as yesterday. There you can go. My lunch from yesterday, protein shake and chicken and bacon pasta, and that's saved in. If I know I'm going to have that tomorrow, you can actually do copy to date, and you can change that to tomorrow, and that will copy in tomorrow. So you can see if you're having similar meals, it literally takes seconds to add those in. So that's probably one of the most useful tools, because typically majority of people have sort of breakfast, lunch similar, so it's really just going to be copying over from previous days, and then just maybe changing dinner for the majority of people. And then what you can also do is add recipes, which is really useful. So if you click more down the bottom here, and then if you click My Meals, Recipes and Food, you can create recipes. So you can enter the ingredients manually, you give the recipe a name, how many servings, then you would go forward and just input the ingredients of the full recipe, and then it gets saved here. So you can see I've got quite a lot of different recipes saved, and then you can just add them into your diary. So if you go here and just say my dinner, like instead of just scanning a meal or searching for food, I can go my recipes, and there's all my recipes that I can add in. So that's also very, very useful. Final point is, once you have added your food for the day, if you scroll down to the bottom and click nutrition, you can get a kind of summarized breakdown in terms of what protein you've hit for the day, your carbohydrates. You can flick it along, you can see what percentage of protein, fat, carbs. You don't really need to worry too much about this. As long as you're within your calories and hitting your protein target, don't worry about the splits of everything else. And then one other thing that you can do is, so you can see here I can only see calories per food. So you can see this breakfast, total calories 309. But if I flip this around to the side, it just gives you that extended view. So I can see the calories, carbs, and I can see I've got 12 grams of protein in that breakfast. So that's just another wee useful tip. But yeah, this is really everything you'll need to know. Just focus on adding in your foods, sticking to the calorie goal, and trying to hit the protein target. Do not stress about the carbs or the fats.